let's say you when you did stand up frequently, you did a bit that went over pretty well, and you did it often, right? Then you stopped doing stand up, right? One of your friends has never seen your show before. Okay, never seen. He was doing stand up after you didn't even know him, and doing a bit, watching a set, and he's got the same bit, but he's never. You can tell that it was just a same train of thought. Sure, not stolen. No way. But you decide to come back to do stand up. Still allowed to do that bit? See what I mean?
Do you have record of you doing that bit?
Oh, yeah.
So then, yes.
You see, but I don't know. See, for you as a civilian, you're allowed to feel
as
that
a
way.
layperson.
Yeah. But as a comedian,
saying, but you're
can you get Jay
asking-
Washington on the phone? Can you get him on Cody or somebody? Can you get him on
Who's
the phone?
the person? What's the bit?
I'll if I can get Jay Washington on the phone, because I want to see what he thinks.
Mm.
So joining us on the call right now, he is a very, very talented comedian, and hence why I want to have him on here today. I want to ask him. I want to ask him to see what he thinks of this.
What's the bit?
First thing I think we should ask him is, Jay, we're talking about black people, so we need your opinion.
No.
Oh my God!
Jay
oh my God!
Washington.
The YouTube comment thread just lost his mind right now.
Jay, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm in the gym, but I'm good.
Okay, listen, I got a question for you, and I want you to tell me because Josh has kind of been out of the stand-up game for a little bit. You're in it. You're fighting the war, so I want to know what you think about this.
I mean, I just did stand up.
I don't. What? Yeah, but you host.
Yeah.
Sure. That's not taking away anything. But you're not in the trenches.
Like you're taking away
You're not in the trenches. Jay's in the trenches every day. Makuga's
I don't mean I don't.
hosting.
Yeah. Sure.
Makuga's hosting.
I'll give it to him. That's what you meant. That's what you meant.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I got you.
Oh, here we go.
He's in the trenches. All right. So anyway, here's a question I have for you. So I was doing when I was doing, and I'm going to start with this by I have no intention of talking to this comedian at all about this because if I ever did stand up, I wouldn't even do the bit. But I just wanted to know where it lies. If I was doing a bit for a while, almost every day when I was performing regularly 7 days a week, and then I stopped doing stand up, and then a comedian that I didn't know at that time and weren't friends, didn't even know me at the time, and come back and that person, and there's in absolute no way, this was an original bit that this person came up with, it just happened to be the same bit. If I started doing stand-up again, am I allowed to do that bit?
It's going to be real tricky because you're going to have some people who say you stole it from them.
But I have
some
video.
Some people going to tell the other comedian they stole it from you.
Right.
So it's like, if you're talented, and you're funny, you can just write another bit, or you can take that same premise and go in a completely different direction with it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the bit. I'll tell you just the line of it.
What's the bit?
Oh, the fucking dog at the bacon.
No, Sal, it's not the dog at the bacon. When I was dating my ex-girlfriend, Jay will know this. When I was
the one who cheated on you.
You love bringing that up, don't you?
I do.
You love bringing it up. I'm not doing a one-on-one with you. Yeah, thank you. So amazing.
Now you're married to a beautiful woman with kids, so it's funny.
It still doesn't. That there isn't a part of me that doesn't think every night about that girl that cheated on me. And
right.
I'm gonna push her off. Anyway.
Anyway.
I just want to make sure I knew what you were talking about.
Pretty much.
Okay, we have Jay Washington on the phone. Jay, so my ex-girlfriend, I had this dog. I had a pug, really stinky.
Oh, the fucking dog.
It wasn't that dog, but it was a stinky fucking dog. And we were sleeping. And I always say this, and she was like a Vietnam War vet. She just woke. She would excuse me. That's my wife now. My girlfriend at the time.
Oh, this is a rough bit.
I know. So my girlfriend at the time. It's true. I haven't done it in a while. My girlfriend at the time could sleep through anything. She could sleep through anything. And this little dog was sleeping in the bed, and ripped a bomb, like a fart, and it woke her up from a dead sleep. And I said, "Do you know how bad something has to smell in order to wake you up from a dead sleep?" She thought there were nuclear weapons going on. She thought it was a fucking gas bomb. And I did this whole, and it would go into it for a bit, and just going into her interrogating the dog. And it was like a 5-minute bit about the dog.
Okay.
Jay, you see where I'm going with it?
Yes.
I was at Chicago, and Jay goes, "Do you know how bad something has to smell to wake you up from a dead sleep?" And I was like, "Holy shit!" And I was like, "It's just a similar fucking bit." And I haven't, to be honest with you, if I went back into stand-up next week, I wouldn't do that bit because I'm not with that girl anymore. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to know the rules.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know the bit.
Yeah, but Jay's is different.
Well, that line is the same, but that's how much he talks about something. He's talking about his diet and things that go into it, and that's kind of it's different, and that's what he said in the beginning.
Nothing to do with the dog.
No, but it's the line. But you see where I'm going though, there, Jay. It's that one line.
I see exactly what. Yeah.
So, but that's
exactly what it is. It's just just changing it around, having a different opinion and a perspective on it, and just putting a different twist to it.
It's fun. It's so funny because
Plus
that's why
Jay's a black guy.
That was very sneaky.
I just started thinking about the rules.
You just set Jay up, though.
I didn't set him up.
Because if we called him and he had said, no, you can definitely do that, and then you're like, mother effer, I'm going to do that to you.
I know. No, I wouldn't. I actually would, but I don't have to do that bit. I don't have to do. That's the thing. That's what he said. I loved what he said.
I see what you did there.
I loved what he said in the
Nice
beginning.
rocks.
I loved what he said in the beginning.
You fed him a little bit.
But here's the thing. Guess what? He had the bit, and I didn't do the bit. And you know what happened, Cody?
Oh, the fucking dog got the bacon.
The fucking dog got the bacon.
Dog got the bacon.
But no, Jay, I think Jay said it. Jay said it right. Is the fact that like you have to. If I came back and did it now because the bits are so different, they're so different that I just probably have to change that line.
And I think that's a very universal line. Do you know how bad something has to be to wake you up?
Because the other thing that I used to do, I did a joke for a while. It was people say sleep like a baby, right? And I go, why do people say that? I can tell you right now, babies sleep fucking terribly.
Yeah.
And I said, what are you gonna do? I said, what are you gonna do? Scream and yell and shit your pants all night? And I said, I did that joke all the time. It always got a big laugh. And Whitney Cummings was up. And she did sleep like a baby. She didn't steal my bit, but I was like, hey, I just want to let you know I do that. That's when I was active, and I was doing it all the time. Yeah. That like the thing is, if
Wait, so you said I want to let you know what she say?
She didn't do it again.
She stopped doing it.
Well, because she wasn't doing it. She wasn't doing it because of she thought of it the night before and everything. Tried it on stage.
But then why'd she stop doing it?
Because that was my joke. Now the difference is here.
But it's also her joke.
But she came up with the difference is that's why I started this whole conversation. I was active. Like so, if Jay and I were both doing stand up a lot, and I was doing it every day, he was doing it every day, and we both had that line, we would have a conversation with one another of who was going to do the line.
Yep.
That's the difference because the thing is he came up with that bit all by himself. He didn't know I fucking did stand up.
Did Whitney Cummings not come up with it all by herself?
No, she probably did. But the thing is, but the problem is though, we know Jay didn't ever watch my set to do it because I don't know, and I don't. The answer is she didn't. But the night before she could have been at the comedy show when I did it. Subconsciously it hit her, and then she wrote it. That's the problem that you put yourself in that position.
That can happen a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah,
and that's the Carlos Mencia excuse. No, I was.
He would do full bits.
Yeah, he would
do full bits.
Yeah.
Mencia wouldn't consciously just retain it. He'd write it down and record it.
Right.
Yeah.
He'd be like, he said what? And let me just say these exact same things.
Right. No. Whitney was awesome.
And just make it a Mexican joke instead of whatever.
Right. No, Whitney was awesome when I told. She's like, oh, okay, I won't do it. She's like, I didn't know. I thought of it last night. I was like, it's cool. And there's another guy that did my exact act. Basically,
no shit.
I saw him at the Improv, and you can see me on video. I was waiting for him, and I go, "You see me on video?" And I just do the finger, come here. And I go, "You just did like 6 of my jokes, dude."
Yeah.
No, I was like,
"Is he still working today?"
No, he was a brand new guy, and I know that he had seen me at a couple places, and then tried to do it. Didn't realize I was there.
I remember
that's very different than the Whitney situation you're saying.
Oh, that happens a lot. That happens a lot in the comedy scene.
Yeah,
a lot. Especially now. There's a lot of these new cats who go see comics, and then they think they'll never see that comic they stole a bit from, and then go up at an open mic or something like it's theirs. And you're like, you don't get your dumb ass out there.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens. But it was funny because I that was one rule. I know the rules, obviously. You know the unwritten rules of comedians, but that one's just kind of gray. It's like what happens if you're not doing stand up for like 10 years? You do a bit that because I guess the difference is I know 100% that Jay has never seen me do stand up, and that's his bit. The other thing is and the other thing I guess too, if I didn't know Jay and I saw him, I was like, how do I know that he didn't see that? We didn't watch an old tape or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and it's
exactly.
Because can Jay then say to me, motherfucker, you haven't done stand up in 10 years?
What if you have a follow-up bit for somebody? Like, so say Jay did hear you do that bit, and then he's thinking, oh, wow, that's funny.
First of all, wait, before you finish, can we preface all this by saying Jay ain't stealing shit?
No. I did that. I said it. I said it.
No. I know you said it. I just want to make sure it's reiterated by me.
Okay, so let me give different answers.
Yeah.
Different names.
Yeah.
So say that Bob sees Joe.
Lewis.
Okay,
Lewis.
so
Lewis is
Lewis,
Steven.
Lewis sees Kristian,
Okay.
and Lewis goes and sees Kristian thing, and Kristian sparks something in him, and he wants to do like a follow-up bit. On stage, could he be like, I saw Kristian, and he was talking about this thing, and then you
The
say
only time
whatever.
that works.
If
The
you're
only
the
time
host.
that works is if you're on the same show.
Yeah.
If you're on the same, no, but you know what?
And
though?
you're the host, and it's a quick bit in between.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's a quick thing in between, yeah.
Yeah, but you can also say something along the lines of you're like, look, I've been in the. It depends on how you word it. It's like I've been in the clubs. I've seen a lot of people talking about like what the Starbucks cup on Game of Thrones. Everybody has their take, and I know so and so said this, but I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
You could do it that way. I don't think you need to, but you could do it that
Right.
particular way.
And
It's-
that's so like one of those things of a topical thing as a host that you're just like, everybody's talking about the Starbucks cup on
Right.
because in a week the
But
bit's
I'm
going
not
to be
talking about
useless.
the topical
Yeah.
thing, but like, okay, this is super dated, but it's the last thing I remember listening to. You guys remember Super Bleeder? Your twin, Dane Cook's Super Bleeder?
I don't think he's my twin, but sure.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever watched
All
any
right,
Dane
it was
Cook
a
stand-up.
huge. It was a bit that he did called Super Bleeder. It was effing hysterical or whatever, and then a lot of people started doing similar things because it was really hot at the time, and I remember thinking like, why don't you guys just say like similar to Dane Cook's Super Bleeder, like as if you're a book and you're
'Cause you don't.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You can't
because
do that.
you're
Sourcing the
you're
comedian.
sourcing it.
Yeah.
And you're also promoting it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Which you
anyway,
can't
yeah.
do.
So
And then you're setting yourself up for failure because you're like,
Yeah.
so it's sort of like Dane Cook's, but just like not as funny.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Yeah.
But the whole thing, Jay,
That's exactly what I'm
is
saying.
I'm never getting back on stage.
Good talk, Russ. Good talk.
It was a great talk. But I was driving in today and I was like, I wonder like what the freaking rules are for that. I have no idea. Like it's more about me. Like if I wanted it, because the thing is, I think joke's fine, right? But and Jay's is really great the way he makes it work. But I was always curious about what if like some of the ones that I loved to do, like my ones that I really loved, that someone else was doing, and I'm like, shit. You know, because I know there's certain people. Like I did the samurai sword thing. I'm not getting rid of that. I would come back and do that just a different way now.
But
Anyway,
you're not coming back.
I said if I did,
But you then said you wouldn't.
and who knows?
Oh, the fucking dog got the bacon. God
Yeah,
The dog did get
that's
the bacon.
pretty